This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
And this episode of the Check the Report podcast is brought to you by The Athletic, which is premium coverage for passionate Detroit sports fans. And listeners of this very edition of the DSP Network can get 30% off. Yes, I mean 30% off the first year of an annual subscription to The Athletic by visiting today, theathletic.com/DSP. Detroit Mercy has finally found its man. I am Vito Chirco reporting for the latest edition of Check the Report. The new head man is Mike Davis, formerly of Indiana. He was the successor to Bob Knight at IU. Then he took the job at UAB. Then after his stop at UAB, he ended up at Texas Southern. His most recent stop before taking over the head coaching position at the University of Detroit Mercy, and he becomes the 22nd head man in the Detroit Titans men's basketball program history, and he brings with him a ton of experience and a ton of winning seasons. In fact, 18 years as a head coach at the D1 level, also 14 winning seasons he has achieved in his coaching stops, and 14 postseason trips he has made as well, including 9 trips to the Big Dance, as in the NCAA tournament, and 5 additional trips to the NIT. And he brings a lot of credibility, a great resume to the job, as he replaces a disgraced, you could say, almost alum now in Bakari Alexander. Bakari, a former player and assistant coach under the legendary Perry Watson at Detroit Mercy, fired after 2 seasons on the job after achieving only 8 wins in back-to-back campaigns, including a single-season record for losses this past campaign in 24 losses. And additionally, a controversial mishap at practice, Bakari couldn't save his job. The wins didn't pile up often enough in his 2 years, and he got ousted, and the Titans now turn to a much more proven and accomplished head man in Mike Davis. With that being said, I had the opportunity to meet up and talk with Mike Davis at his introductory press conference on Thursday morning. Without further ado, here is my chat with Coach Davis. So, Coach Davis, to start off, what drew you to Detroit Mercy?
Like I said before, the passion that Robert had about this university, the things we talked about, and I just felt like it gave me another opportunity I've won 3 different conferences, I've taken 3 different schools to the NCAA tournament, and it gave me another opportunity to do that.
So, Coach, when did you actually know that you were going to leave Texas Southern?
Probably last Tuesday.
And how tough of a decision was that on you and your family to leave Texas Southern?
It was very, very tough because I've been fighting it for the last month. Still, when I flew here on the plane, I felt really sad. Really, really sad. The first time I came for the interview, like really, really sad, and I was two seconds away from not even getting on the plane. But I came, and when I got here, Robert was great. We just talked about so much, and when I got on the plane going back, I felt different. But my mind still was wavering because I'm leaving my best team at Texas Southern. We have a very good team. This was supposed to be a special year for us. The players I respect, they respect me. But it was really a tough decision.
So for those that don't know much about you and your coaching style, what will you bring to the sidelines at Callahan Hall on a game-to-game basis?
It's hopefully the best prepared team that you can see. Hard work. Like I said before, we have to try to get everything from a standpoint of a 9 or 10, in every area. That's how you function and operate, at the highest level. And it's tough getting there. I've had teams that never got past 6 or 7, but the expectation is to get at a 9 or 10.
And I know this will be a tough first year, coming off of 2 straight 8-win seasons at Detroit Mercy under Bakari Alexander, setting a single-season record for losses this past season and 24 losses this past season. So what are your expectations, honestly, for your first year on the job at Detroit Mercy?
NCAA tournament. I'm not going to go into a season not expecting to win the NCAA tournament. I play a tough schedule. I want to make it tougher. I want to challenge our guys. And I want to win. I want every practice to be with the same effort that you would give to try to get to that 9 out of 10. That's the effort I want.
So then what will you do to instill that winning culture in your players at Detroit Mercy?
Just work, preparation, work, giving feedback. And if you buy into the feedback and understand that we control our abilities. We control our own destiny. There's no flu shot. that's going to get us to where we're trying to get to.
Now, do you know yet if any of the assistants from the past regime will be joining your coaching staff?
I'm bringing my staff with me, so I'm not sure. If some of my guys decide not to come, then we'll, kind of, go from there.
Now, to a topic that I know you've heard about and been asked about a lot, succeeding Bob Knight at Indiana. How tough was that for you to succeed the legendary Bob Knight, and how much has that experience taught you and your other coaching stops along the way?
Well, it was great. It was great because, again, I got a chance to be with one of the best coaches in the history of college basketball or any sport, not just college basketball. I got a chance to learn from him. And I was through into a fire that I wasn't ready for, wasn't prepared for, but it's on-the-job work. I mean, I had to work on the job, and everything I experienced was for the first time. And, unfortunately for Indiana, that happened, but fortunately for me, it happened.
And then how big will that Detroit Mercy-Oakland rivalry be with you?
Well, I know it's a big rivalry, and that's what it's supposed to be. There's a game, but we're trying to get better every game. No matter who we play, we're going to get the same effort. I hope our guys don't give more effort for this game than do other games. So it's all about us giving that Oakland. Let's give that Oakland effort every game.
And, Coach, I'll leave you with this. What is one unique thing about you that many people do not know, and off the basketball court?
Well, I'm a quiet guy. I'm a laid-back guy. But when you see me coach, I'm kind of tough, but I'm a laid-back, quiet guy.
Thank you, Coach, for all the time, and best of luck to you, too.
All right, thank you very much.
And that was new Detroit Mercy head men's basketball coach Mike Davis. And now here is my chat with Earl Cureton, the Detroit Titans Hall of Famer. Enjoy. Earl Cureton. Earl, thanks for being here with me. Appreciate the time. Wanted to ask you about Coach Mike Davis and being hired at Detroit Mercy. What are your initial thoughts about this hire?
Well, I think it's a great hire. I think we're very fortunate to get a guy of this caliber. A guy that's took a D1 level and at a high level being in Indiana, and also at UAB he did a great job there, and then down at Southern Texas also did a wonderful job. I was kind of surprised that we were able to get him to come to Detroit and Detroit Mercy, and it's going to be great to have him as part of our program.
So what do you expect from Coach Davis in year number one?
Well, it depends on how what kind of players he's able to get together, and who he keeps from what's here, what's going to remain here. Like I said, the Horizon League is a league that's got a lot of parity in it, and if you can get a group of guys to buy into your system and play well together, you never know what can happen in this league. I mean, Cleveland State didn't do well last year. You look up in the Horizon League, and they were right there in the finals of it. So it depends on what he's able to do in a short period of time right now and how well he'll do. I know we're not expecting miracles in the first year, but you never know what can happen.
Earl, awesome stuff. Always great talking to you, too.
Thank you. Pleasure talking to you.
And that is all she wrote for the latest edition of the Check the Report podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed my chat with the new Detroit Mercy men's basketball head coach, Mike Davis. And thanks to the Detroit Mercy athletic department and to Coach Davis for obliging with my request to speak with him at his introductory press conference on Thursday. Hope you guys learned something new about Coach during my chat with him, such as what he will be bringing to the sidelines at Callahan Hall on a game-to-game basis in the 2018-2019 season. Thanks to all of you for tuning in to this edition of the pod, and tune in to the latest episode of Two Bad Hombres, dropping this Saturday, courtesy, as usual, of the DSP Network, which you can follow on Twitter at Detroit Podcast, and you can check out the network's website at DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Adios.